It's Monday once again, and that could only mean one thing. The Tracker is back on Citi TV, and we are back on our globe-trotting business. We went to Portugal the last time to the city of Guimaraes. Well, guess what? We are going back there again because the story has not been fully told. This young man that we are about to have on the show today has already made his Black Stars debut. He's played for Ghana's under-23 team as well, and also is also an alma of one of the most successful academies the country has had. So there's a lot to unravel in this particular conversation. Welcome back to The Tracker here on Citi TV. It's time to unveil my guest. Joining us all the way from Portugal is Gideon Mensah. Gideon Mensah plays for Vitoria Guimaraes. He's on loan from Red Bull Salzburg. Gideon, how's it going over there?
It's going good. I mean, we're still working and seeing what's going to happen. So.
Okay. Let's begin this conversation from home. And I actually found out that you have a very interesting upbringing for a footballer. So you happen to have a footballer father, or your dad was a football coach, if I should put it that way.
Sure.
Talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, growing up, where did you grow up, and what was it like growing up having a father who was a coach?
Basically, I grew up in a town called Wafa in the central region. And growing up with a father as a coach was a bit easy for me as a football player, because obviously in the beginning I didn't really take football as my thing, but my dad pushing me and then telling me to go out with him to the field. I go to the field, watch them play. Sometimes I just run on the field as a kid, but I think it helped me a lot because he was pushing me. You know, we have fathers that don't want their kids to go out and play football, and then mine was a bit different because even if my mom wants me to stay in, he would just take me from the house and take me to the field. So it was easy for me, and then helped me a lot.
Now, I mean, I mentioned your dad because a lot of the times when we do these interviews, we don't highlight as much the individuals that have helped the career path of the footballers we speak to. So tell me a little bit about your dad, right? I mean, was he like a coach of a Colts team? Was he like a trainee coach himself? What was his main thing as far as the game of football was concerned and coaching was concerned?
Yeah, so with my father, I think he had a love for football team. So there was a team in my town, and then they appointed him as basically as the manager. So not like coach, but he goes to the team and then see to it that everything is going well in the team and then all that. So it wasn't just like him coaching, but he was doing a football team because he had love for football. So basically, he would want his child to also play football, and knowing that I love football, and then I wanted to play football. So it was also I think it was a team for him to push me out there, and then I think he did a great job doing that.
Now, talk to me about the interest in football. I mean, did it come from him obviously he was already entrenched in the game when you were growing up, or did you pick the game up yourself from the suburbs of Dunkwa as a young boy?
I think some part came from him because growing up, he keeps telling me that some of my uncles, which are his brothers, played football, but obviously they didn't take football like so serious like I did. And then he was also playing football, which I don't know if he was lying to me, but I'm sure he did. So I think most part of my career came from him. I mean, the love that I have for football came from him, and then also me playing football. You know, growing up as a kid in a town, not like a big city. You know, you play everything you see on the ground. You see oranges on the walking path. You just kick it, and then anywhere that you see football, you have to be there. So I think some came from him, and then also some came from me, also from the street. So.
Would you say you are the first from your family to have taken football professional?
Yeah.
Wow, that must be
most of my brothers and sisters went to school, and then they took school as their teen, but I was the only one playing football. Even though I was a bit intelligent in school, but I was like, I want to play football. So I took football because I remember I left home when I was very young because of football to stay with somebody that I know nothing about the person because of football. So
let's stay on that point. Let's stay on that point. Moving out of home and living with somebody that you barely knew. How did that happen? And tell me about transitioning out of Dunkwano-Fin.
Yeah, so it happened this way. There's a coach, there's a team in Obuasi called Bafana. That was where I started playing after I left my town. So this coach used to come to our town, which is Dunkwano-Fin, to watch players. And then when he sees you, he tells you he wants to take you to Obuasi. And then obviously being in a town like Dunkwano-Fin and then somebody telling you he's going to take you to Obuasi was like a big thing for us, because we were dreaming to go forward with the football team, and then going to Obuasi was like getting closer to where we want to be football. So he came there one time and then he saw me playing, and then he said he wants to take me to Obuasi. I remember that time he gave me like 30 pesos. It's a very long time.
Yeah.
He gave me 30 pesos. I was so happy. I went to the shop, bought some gari, sugar, and whatever, and then I missed it right instant, and I ate that thing. So it was like a big thing for me. So I think after 2 months or 3 months, he came back to the town again, and he was like, he's ready to take me now. So I left my parents, and that was it.
Now, if you look at your career in general, I mean, how big a deal is it as a young man to leave the side of your parents to go pursue football yourself? Because I know that after that, you barely probably spent any time with your parents because your journey started progressing on and on. Does that teach you any lessons as a footballer? I mean, leaving home so early?
Yeah, on my side, I think it was the best for me to do growing up, because obviously now I'm in Europe and then I have no family, and then I have to pull through. Like, even though I have friends from Ghana and all these things, but obviously a man needs his family to survive also. But leaving my family at an early age was like a good thing for me, because then even though I met my family, but it won't be like somebody who stayed his or her own life, her whole life with the family, because I started living with people that wasn't my family when I was young. So it helped me a lot to pursue my dream, because thinking of staying with my family and having the good thing coming from my family wasn't going to push me enough to get to where I am now. So I think it's a good thing for me.
Living out of your comfort zone, I definitely respect that. When did Wafa or Feyenoord come around, and how did they even pick you? Because we always know that process is such a competitive process, being drafted into an academy like that. How did that come around?
So that happened in the year 2010. So after I stayed in Obuasi for like a year or two, I left to Southbourne, to one academy there. So, and then I think it was 2009. Then the regional team came to our team. Because I was an academy, it wasn't like a big academy, but it looked like an academy. So they came there saying that they need players to help them in the regional games, which is the Milo games. So they picked me in the year 2009, and then we went to the tournament was in Kumasi. Yeah, so I played the whole tournament in Kumasi, and then I came back home to Southbourne. Nothing happened. So in the next year, we went back to Sunyani, which was the Milo games again. And then, unfortunately, in that tournament, I was out, because they do this facial screening before the games, and they look at you, they say you are old, you are this, blah blah blah. So I was one of them. So they said,
"Why did you have a beard then?"
I look old. So
did you have a beard then?
After, no. I still look young. I don't know what happened then. So I cried like during the whole tournament, and then there was one coach who coached the Central Region. So he told me that in the year 2009, which was the previous year, I was picked to go to Feyenoord Academy, but he didn't tell me what happened that I didn't go. So he told me that they're still interested in me, so they want to take me to the academy after the tournament. And then that was like a good news for me, because obviously I was sad because I wasn't playing the tournament. And then he comes to me and tells me that you're going to the academy after the tournament. So that was what happened. So I went to the academy after the tournament, and then the rest is history now.
Now, at the academy itself, when you arrived, I mean, what were your impressions like? How old were you at the time? Did you think that this was perhaps the platform that will eventually help you on your dream to becoming a professional footballer?
I didn't really see it that way, because growing up and playing football, like I said before, it wasn't like playing football to go to academy or just to go to Europe or something. All we knew was like, we are good in football, and then we have the talent, and we want to play football and then make ourselves happy. So obviously I was happy when they told me I was going to the academy, because obviously we had like, I think 4 players from the academy playing for the Central region. So we were watching them, and we were seeing them like living a good life, even though they were not in the academy. They were with us. You see them wearing good clothes, having good money on them, having white people coming to visit them in the camp and all that. So obviously we wanted to also have that life. So when I got there, I was like, I knew them already. I knew some of the boys already. So I was like, okay, if really you saw what they were doing in the company and you wanna have that life, then you need to start from here. You need to make up your mind and then see what's going to happen for you. So basically, at the beginning, it wasn't like something that I was very, very excited to be. But as time went on, it was like changing for me.
Now, tell me about some of the notable names that arrived with you at the academy. I mean, guys who are still pursuing their professional career now, guys who came up with you. Who are some of the notable names that were at the academy with you back in the day?
So when I went there, I met names like Majid Ashmiru, Isaac Boache.
Oh.
I met Joseph Amoa, who is currently here in Guimaraes. Gideon Waja.
That was a talented group.
Yeah, Kennedy Boateng.
Kendoza.
In Austria. Yeah, yeah. And Samotete. I mean, a couple of them. I mean, if I'm going to mention names, then I'm going to mention
that's quite a talented lineup. I wouldn't even lie. That's really a talented lineup. Now, talk to me about schooling in the academy, right? Because we always hear that the academy comes along with education and that you need to go to classes and also balance it with learning how to play football. You mentioned that your academics had always been very good. How did you look forward to going to school, and how did that go? I mean, generally.
That's one funny thing, because I keep telling people this, like, you could be like very good in academic, and when you go to the academy, it's always going to go down, because you can't imagine yourself learning alone and when people are watching football at night, so it was a bit difficult. I mean, everybody who plays in the academy will tell you this. It was a bit difficult to really focus on academy and then focus on studying and then leave football. But it was a good thing for us, because we had like college teachers coming from outside and teaching us in the school. So we didn't really have to combine the two, but the least chance that we get to learn, then we have to also learn, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be just football for us. I mean, you're going to get to places where you have to express yourself, and then you have to also think about what you're going to do aside football. So it was a good thing for us also to have teachers and then to have the school in the academy.
Now, for those who have not been to the academy or came through the other ranks of the sport and managed to make it to the top, if you could give, advice, or you could point out 3 reasons perhaps why going to the academy has been beneficial to your career, what would these reasons be?
I think one of them would be having an easy life during your football career, because we all know that we have so many people at home that goes to training or goes to play football and then thinking about what they're going to eat after the training and then what they're going to eat after football, But in the academy, that everything is organized, that I have breakfast at this time, I have lunch, I have dinner, and then I have a room to sleep, So you won't really have that stress of thinking about what you're going to eat and then what I'm not saying that people at home don't get food to eat or whatever, but
I mean, I get where you're coming from.
I think in the academy it's more easier than being at home. Even though people from teams like in Accra, in Kumasi, they still make it up here in Europe. But I think in the academy it's more easier. And also a second thing will be, we are all playing to come up in European play. So in the academy, they guide you through the stages that you have to go through to get here, and then how life is going to be easy for you in Europe here. Because basically, if you come to Europe here and then you want to play the game that you play in Ghana, I'm not sure it's going to be like easy for you to come around with how you're going. Because me like this, I was in Lille, I was in Benfica, and then I went to Salzburg, which I signed there, and it helped me a lot because I was in academy. I was alone in Lille, I was alone in Benfica, but it was easy for me to adapt to the system there, because it wasn't like. It was like something that I learned already in the academy, which helped me out here. So that alone is also helping. I mean, it's a good thing for us also, for you to go through the academy. Not like necessarily go to the academy, but if you have the chance to go to the academy, it's going to help you. And then the third thing is going to be, I think it's going to be more about discipline, because you have people who tells you to sleep at 9 o'clock or at 10 o'clock, and then you have people who tells you to wake up or do this or go and learn. Obviously, at home, you choose to live your life how you want it. And it's different when you stay with your mom or your dad, who's going to be like on your neck to do the right things. But looking at our teams in Accra and then our local teams, I'm not sure you get that treatment like how you get in the academy. So I think that's
interesting. Now, the Red Bull Academy itself is no more. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah, it's
no more. How does that make you feel, that the place that gave you so much in terms of what you are now as a person is no longer existent anymore? How does that make you feel?
I think with that, it was no more before we moved to Sogakope. So I didn't really had the experience there. Even though I went there a couple of times to play against them. So, and I think it was a good thing they were doing that, like what Final was doing, and then which is now Wafa now. I think it was a good thing to give us the youth in Ghana the chance to go to Europe and then to pursue our dreams. So obviously, it's no more now, and then it's a bad thing for some of the kids, because obviously it's not every kid that's going to be in academy. If you have like 5 or 6 academies in Ghana, then you know that everyone is surviving. But if it's just 2 or it's just 1, then I'm not sure they can take every footballer to that academy. So I think the more that we have the academies in Ghana will help the kids to be on to learn, and then to have their dreams going on for them. So it's been no more now. It's not a good thing for Ghana also. Definitely.
Now let's talk about making it as a standout player in the academy. So now you are given the opportunity to leave the academy to go outside the country. Where was your first stop? I know that you were in Portugal for a while, but where was your first stop properly before your entire European journey started?
First stop as in?
Where did you go first in terms of a team that signed you or a team that wanted you for trials? Where did you go first after leaving the academy?
I think it started in France, in Lille.
Oh, was that a trial?
Yeah, that was a trial.
Okay.
But
how did that go?
I was still like 15, 16. So for me, it was just like going in and seeing what's going to happen for me in Europe. I mean, it was just like a life experience.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
From Lille, yeah, go on.
I was asking if Eden Hazard was at Lille at that time, but I'm not too sure.
No.
Would you have known?
He wasn't there.
They had left at the time.
I think the goalkeeper from Nigeria, I forgot his name. Victor.
Vincent Nyema.
Yeah. Vincent. Sorry, yeah, Vincent. Yeah.
Yeah. Vincent Nyema.
And then Yaya was also there.
Oh, okay.
On loan from Man City. Yeah.
Interesting. That's nice. And then from Lille, where did you go before eventually making it to Liefering?
So from Lille, I came back to Ghana, and then after, I think I played a couple of games in the Ghana Premier League.
Okay.
And then after a month or two, I had a call that Mr. Broken, who is the founder of Final, wants to see me in the office. So I went there, and then he was like, so there is something up in Benfica in Portugal, and then he wants me to go. And then he was asking if I'm fit and then if I'm ready to go. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. So I went to the embassy the next Wednesday, and then I got my visa and I went to Portugal. So from Lille, I went to Portugal, to Benfica.
So there was also like a trial run or a trial experience of some sorts for you?
Yeah, no, Benfica was actually like a trial for me, because I went there. I went to Benfica. The first time I spent like 1 or 2 months there, and then I came back home, and then they said they want to see me again. So when I came back home, I went to the under 20 camp. I think we were playing qualifiers, and then they called me that they want to see me again. They want me to come back to Portugal, and so I had to leave the under 20 camp and go back to Portugal, which I quite remember. It was very hard for me, and then the whole team. The national team. Also, Coach Gideon Mensah was a bit angry because he had plans for me, and then from nowhere they just called me that I have to leave. So it was a big hectic.
I mean, did you train with the Benfica first team then, or you were training with the reserve side or the junior side?
No, so when I went there, before the first 2 months was with the under 19.
Okay.
And then when I went back to the second time was sometimes with under 19 and then sometimes with the B team.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Now, transitioning out of Benfica, I'm guessing that you've been on loan once at Lille. You've come to Ghana. You've experienced the Ghana Premier League. You've experienced somewhat the national camp in terms of the under 20. What happened next after that for Gideon Mensah?
Yeah, so what happened in Benfica was I was close to getting a contract, because I was 17 and I had like 2 or 1 month to get to 18.
Okay.
And then they said they wanted to give me a mandate, but my former agent was like, nah, we don't want to be here because of some reasons. And then so we had to wait on what was going to happen. So they told me that we understand here, so you go back to Ghana and then we take you back to Atletico Madrid for another trials. I was like, okay. I was still young, so I didn't know what was going on. So I went back to Ghana again after spending like so basically I spent like almost a year at Benfica, going back to Ghana and coming back. So I went to Ghana again, and then again Mr. Broken called me again saying that he wants me to go to Austria because Red Bull says they want to see me. So I went with Kennedy Boateng, who is now playing in Austria now, yeah. And then what the funny thing is, we go to Austria, and then it was like 3 weeks to my birthday, which was going to be 18. And then I checked my passport, and then my visa that I used to come to Austria was like 2 weeks. So obviously, if it's 2 weeks, that means I'm going to go to Ghana before my birthday, which means I cannot get a contract here. So I called him. I was like, I look into my passport now, and my visa is just 2 weeks. So how am I going to stay here? And then he was like, no, it doesn't matter. If they want to keep you, it means they're going to do something about your visa. So that's not a problem. So I was here, played some couple of games with them. The second team.
Which is Liffering?
There was one afternoon they called me that they want to give me a contract. So they gave me the contract, and then I was with the contract for like almost 3 days, reading it and then seeing the good things in the contract and the bad things in the contract. So everything was okay, and then I took it back to them and I had a contract. So that was what happened.
Now, hold your horses there for a second. We'll take a quick break here. I'll come back and then we'll delve a lot more into your life in Austria, playing for Liffering, getting to play for Red Bull. I want to particularly ask about that preseason encounter against Real Madrid and some interest from Barcelona. So there's a lot I want to ask. Just hold your horses there. We are talking to Gideon Mensah, left fullback, plays for Vitoria Guimaraes in the Portuguese First Division. He's just brought us up to speed on his family, playing in the academy and also moving out of Ghana to Europe for the first time. There's a lot more to discover about the Gideon Mensah story. Stay right here with us on The Tracker. We'll be right back.